Potential pandemic spark from bird flu. Urgent warning over bird chlamydia. 5 deaths in Europe. Unusual outbreak. The World Health Organization considers bird flu a major pandemic threat. The virus, H5N1, has been observed in humans before, with the first case in Hong Kong in 1997. The world is currently experiencing the worst bird flu epidemic ever seen, with over 140 million poultry deaths worldwide since October 2021. The latest strain of bird flu is unusually fatal in a wide range of bird species and transmissible between bird species. The virus's origin is unknown, but a recent epidemic in wild birds has led to infections on farms, putting pressure on farmers and threatening the food supply. The University of Cambridge is involved in a new national consortium called FluMap, funded by the BBSRC and DFRA to better understand the strain of H5N1 causing this unprecedented bird flu outbreak. The results will inform government decision-making and new strategies to protect the poultry industry and reduce the risk of future transmission to humans. Bird flu, understanding human behavior and global spread. Poultry farming and wild birds. Poultry farmers need to prevent contact with wild birds through netting, bird scarers, and avoiding ponds. They also need to prevent wild bird feces from being transferred into poultry sheds. Bird flu outbreaks often occur due to biosecurity issues, making ongoing surveillance vital. Animal-to-human transmission. The UK government's asymptomatic testing program has detected few cases of the current bird flu in humans. Most cases occur when the person first infected by an animal virus was in close contact with the animal. Concerns exist about the variant of bird flu that killed humans in Hong Kong still circulating in Cambodia and the Far East. Concerns are raised about the variant transmitting in Europe and the Americas due to its spilled over into other animal species. The pandemic. The Spanish flu pandemic of 1918 was believed to have been caused by a bird flu that jumped to humans. Since the Hong Kong outbreak, H5 and related H7 bird flu viruses have been spreading globally, with several hundred cases detected in humans. Pandemic concerns. The virus must evolve to replicate in humans and escape our immune system, allowing it to spread between people. Antigenic cartography, a technique developed by Smith, uses data from virus samples collected by labs worldwide to study how bird flu and other viruses are evolving. Antigenic cartography technique is recognized for its potential to benefit humanity. The technique assesses how well human antibodies respond to virus variants, indicating if a virus can escape the human immune response and cause disease. The work aids in determining the effectiveness of existing H5 vaccine stockpiles and determining the need for updates. They aims to create vaccines that provide broad immunity against many virus variants, aiming to prevent future pandemics. Research on human influenza has been used in the World Health Organization's decision-making process for the annual flu vaccine. The work was part of the rapid response to COVID-19, enabling a rapid response. Current vaccines can be updated to work against future virus variants using antigenic cartography. UK Health Guidance on Avian Flu Pandemic. UK Health Security Agency, UKHSA, has issued a public health advice to Brits, urging them to stay at least 2 mm away from wild birds, including pigeons and seagulls. The advice, created with the RSPCA and Animal and Plant Health Agency, advises people not to touch or handle wild birds or their droppings. The guidance comes amid fears that bird flu may trigger another human pandemic. The virus, which kills close to 50% of those it infects, has already affected over 200 million domestic birds globally and spilled into mammals like mink, foxes, raccoons, and bears. The UKHSA advice also advises keeping birds outside, wearing clothes that prevent scratch or bite injuries, and using masks, disposable gloves, and eye protection. Bird flu. Risk and prevention in Britain. Bird flu is heat-sensitive and can be contracted from poultry and game birds. Symptoms include high fever, cough, sore throat, muscle aches, and malaise. The virus can quickly develop into serious respiratory illness and pneumonia. UKHSA advises contact with Regional Health Protection Team if in contact with confirmed or suspected bird flu cases. The risk to people remains very low, with no evidence that it can spread more easily to people or between people. Only 5 cases of Brits becoming infected since the current outbreak began. Officials advise Brits to avoid touching or handling wild birds or their droppings. Handling wild birds should be done outside with at least 2 meters away. Handling birds should be done in a secure, ventilated box, with windows open while traveling. Disposal of dead wild birds should be done with disposable gloves or a plastic bag, with the bag containing the bird in a second leak-proof plastic bag. Hand washing with soap and water is advised. Burying dead wild birds. Avoid near watercourses or contamination areas. Wear disposable gloves or use a plastic bag for pickup. Dig a hole at least 60 cm deep to prevent animal digging. Avoid burying in plastic bags. Use used gloves or bags in a separate waste bin. Wash hands thoroughly with soap and water after handling the bird. UKSA guidance on bird flu prevention. UKSA advises Brits to avoid touching or handling wild birds or their droppings. Handling birds should be done at least 2 meters away, keeping them outside. Wear protective clothing and disposable gloves and eye protection. Dispose of gloves in a plastic bag and dispose of them in an outside bin. Wear surgical face masks or multi-layered cloth face coverings. Follow instructions when taking the bird to a vet or animal welfare organization. Keep birds in a secure, ventilated box and keep windows open while traveling. Dispose of contaminated disposable items in a bag and dispose of them in an outdoor bin. Disinfectant wipes should be used to clean surfaces that cannot be disposed of. Disposal of dead wild birds involves picking them up, tying them, and placing them in an outside waste bin. If burying a dead bird, avoid near watercourses or in areas where it could contaminate local water supplies. If using a plastic bag or gloves, dispose of the used gloves or bag in another bag in an outside waste bin.